Hello everybody, this is Guy Darmus. I wrote this book. It took me 10 years. It contains the theory of everything, quantum gravity. My specific version of quantum gravity is called space-particle dualism theory, and it can be divided into several parts. One of the most important parts, the cornerstone of SPD-quantum gravity, is the similar worlds interpretation. According to this interpretation, we exist in all worlds that are temporally indistinguishable to us. This solves the entanglement problem because in each one of those similar worlds, spins are orthogonal, so it's not strange to find them to be orthogonal when we make a measurement and choose one of those worlds. And this explains entanglement, but it does not explain why the probability of a particle to be in a certain place is wave-like. For that, we need the concept of space-particle dualism. According to this concept, each particle has its own quantum of space, which is a sphere proportional to the energy of the particle, and it's a complex number sphere, and it's oscillating. So the surface area of the sphere is a complex number z that is orbiting the origin of the complex plane, and this oscillation can explain why the probability distribution is wave-like. It's basically the particle oscillating in and out of our space. Then another part is the charge-mass duality, which says that the origin of the mass of particles is the charge. This was known as the electromagnetic mass theory. And it turns out this can be extended to other particles and other forces. And so then we can predict the masses of all the particles. If we consider the running of coupling and all these things, it leads to very accurate predictions. It also comes with a new cosmology, according to which the true age of the universe is 42 trillion years. According to this cosmology, the entropy of the universe is not increasing. When we want to talk about the entropy of the universe, if the universe has no borders, we can only talk about the entropy density. And so, according to this theory, when the entropy of black holes increases, space expands in order to compensate for that increase. And that way, the entropy density is always constant. And because the entropy of a black hole increases as a quadratic function, therefore the expansion of the universe also increases like a quadratic function. And that leads to a post-decoupling age of the universe of 42 trillion years. Decoupling meaning the moment when the universe became transparent. This space-particle duality leads to a new description of gravity. When we have a charge or a hypercharge, which would be a quark, they emit virtual particles. So there's a stream of virtual particles coming from them. And if space is a patchwork of these spheres, these elementary spaces, then where there are more of these elementary spaces, there are more pathways leading through those regions of space, and that is gravity. Particles are attracted to those regions, and then that means that gravity only depends on the number of charges and hypercharges. More specifically, hypercharges. So that means protons and neutrons, or also called baryons. And each chemical element has different amounts of binding energy, which is negative. And so that reduces the mass, but it doesn't change the number of particles. And so that means there's more gravity in each kilogram of iron, for example, than in each kilogram of water. And so there's no unique gravitational constant. It's different for every element. And this allows us to create some amazing technology. If we can manage to inflate the mass using particle accelerators and not change the number of particles, then basically we have a very very little gravity per kilogram, and that means we can make something drop slower than it would usually do. So we are trying to create something like similar to a UFO. It's not anti-gravity, it's reduced gravity. And we also have methods of measuring what material something consists only using gravity without using any sort of radiation. So please support us. Thanks.